This is the plaintiff, William Rafty. He says he was backing out of his driveway, stopped to look for oncoming traffic, and then felt a big boom. Turns out the defendant, also backing out of a driveway across the way, didn't look where he was going and smacked right into him with his big old truck. The defendant admitted it was his fault, but now refuses to pay for his damages. That's why he's suing the liar here in this court for the $2,840.35 he's owed. This is the defendant, Andrew Visconti. He says the plaintiff was the one backing out of the driveway and he was the one who smacked into him. That's right, he didn't hit anybody. He was the one who got hit. The plaintiff's the liar. The plaintiff's the one who caused the accident. And the plaintiff's the one who should be paying him. He's accused of backup crack-up.
All parties, please raise your right hand. Be seated. Come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas. William Rafty?
Yes.
You are suing Andrew Visconti, your, I guess, neighbor, right? For
No.
Pardon?
He's a friend of my neighbor.
For $2,840.35, the amount to repair your car because while he was at his friend's house, the two of you had a car accident. You say it's his fault.
Yes.
Okay, tell me what happened. Why don't you come up to the diagram that we have here and show me what happened?
Okay. Okay, this will be my car.
Okay.
And this will be his. What happened was I backed out onto Juniper, made a turn like this, and then while I was shifting from reverse to forward with my foot on the brake, I got hit right here, and he claims I hit him, but I could not have hit him with this being the impact site because my car could only go this way or this way, unless if I was sliding and skidding this way, but within 60 feet of my driveway, with anti-skid brakes, it would be impossible for me to go into a skid and hit him like that. So I'm claiming he hit me.
Does that pretty much sum it up?
Well, I got a lot more evidence.
Is that how the cars ended up?
Yes. And I could show the impact site, including the initial impact of his trailer hitch, secondary impacts that line up with his bumper. And I've got a panoramic view showing that there's no incline here that would have made me slide down into the road sideways.
How about if you're just both coming out of the driveway at the same time and that's how the accident happened?
Well, I was here, not moving, and I could show that the initial impact point is a circle. So I wasn't moving. He claims I hit him. I wasn't moving. Like I say, unless if I was going this way.
You've drawn this conclusion that the only way that it could be your fault is if you're traveling sideways. And what I am asking you is, I was under the impression from your statement, when you say I was fully out of the driveway and I was stopped, I thought that you were owning the road already. You were already here, and that after you were already straightened out, just a minute, I'm in the middle of a sentence, that after you were already straightened out, and you're here, he backs up and hits you here. You have described a situation where you're not fully out and he's not fully out, and that's where the impact happens.
Okay.
So let me hear from you. Go ahead and go back to the lectern and let me hear from you. How did it happen?
Right this way.
Okay. I didn't know where he was till after the accident. I was here. I pulled out at this angle. I was turning because I was going this direction. A vehicle passed by. It was a truck, the next door neighbor, in a white van, pulled in. I waited till he went. I saw his truck. Next thing I knew, his tail lamp hit the corner of my bumper. I was stopped. I was still in the driveway. When he got out of the car, he proceeded a little bit and then he pulled up. He went back in and apologized. When he got out before he pulled up, he said he was sorry. I have a witness that came out of the house and heard him apologizing to me that he hit me. Oh.
Okay, go ahead and go back to the lectern. Are you the witness?
Yes, ma'am.
Come on up to the microphone. What's your name?
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Carl. I'm not only the witness, but I'm his neighbor. I didn't see the accident happen. But I was in the living room, I saw Andy pull into my driveway. And I waited for about 5 minutes, figuring Andy would walk in the house as he usually does. He doesn't. So I go outside to make sure he's okay. The man has a pacemaker and a defibrillator. He's 70 years old. I worry about him. I go out there, and my neighbor and him are out in the middle of the street discussing the car accident.
By the time you come out, the cars have already been moved?
The cars were already moved.
And what did you hear your neighbor say to him?
Apologizing to Andy for hitting him.
Saying what?
I'm really sorry. It was stupid of me. I apologize. I didn't mean for this to happen. And the only other discussion was about a taillight.
How's a taillight $2,800? Let me see the damage to your car.
Okay. Here we go. It's not just a tail light. It's there's a circle where his trailer hitch initially impacted, which would be in the middle of his vehicle, pushed in my fender, and then he continued into my vehicle, causing a dent and damage to my rear tail light. And this is what his vehicle, this is the way he would approach. It's backwards because this way you can see how it lines up. And there's the outline showing how his bumper lines up with my rear taillight and the side.
Okay. Let me just explain something to you, Mr. Rafferty. You've gone through a lot of effort to try to prove to me it's his fault. And everybody gets hung up in this room all the time during trials saying, he hit me, no, he hit me, no, he hit me. I don't care who hit who, I care whose fault it is. And if I'm traveling in a place where I can travel, and then I hit you because you pop up out of nowhere, then it's your fault, even if I hit you. It makes no difference if I hit you or you hit me. It matters who has the right of way. You have both described a situation where you're both backing out, and it doesn't matter who's more in the driveway, out in the driveway. The accident happens in the street, and you're both backing out at the same time. It's like my most dreaded thing, that I'm going to be backing out and somebody's going to be backing, it just happens. It happens. Or that you're both going to be trying to get into the same lane at the same time. It happens. So whose fault is it?
Well, I'd like to say it's his.
I know what you'd like to say, but what you haven't proven that it's his fault, because I thought from your statement that the way it would have happened was you were already in the street and you're traveling to the street, boom, he just backs out and hits you. But you've described your driveways as exactly in front of each other, and I think you're both just coming out at the same time, and neither one of you looked behind you to see the other guy coming or didn't realize the other guy was coming. Was there any damage to your car?
None whatsoever. But may I just...
Yes or no?
No damage.
None.
May I
Okay.
interject? He's proclaiming that my trailer hitch did this damage. My trailer hitch is below his bumper. If you want to take a look at this picture, and you can look at a car that's similar to his car, the trailer
What are you saying,
hitch-
that he had prior damage in the exact spot that you two hit?
No, what happened is when he pulled out, he rubbed against my bumper. He backed out and did that other damage. I didn't notice it.
Okay.
But my trailer hitch isn't high like that.
Let me
Honor,
see the damage. What kind of car is that?
Nissan Sentra 2001. Anti-lock brakes. So I couldn't have skidded.
Oh, please stop trying to be an accident reconstructionist. You are not. I've done this my whole life. I was a prosecutor before I was a judge. I've been a judge now for 21 years. You think that you're going to teach me something about accident reconstruction today because you've researched a little bit and done some nice pictures, but that's not how it works. You're both pulling out at the same time, dude. That's what happens. You're both pulling out at the same time. Neither one of you see the other guy. It's kind of both your faults.
Your Honor,
Yeah.
may I say something else?
Something else, yeah?
Okay, on May 6th, I was in the front yard of my home with the Vios repairman who was putting on my new Vios cable TV. When the defendant, the plaintiff, comes out to my house on my lawn, okay, under the auspices of showing me a packet of lettuce which he's going to plant. He wants my opinion on how to plant it, okay, which I'm not a
package
farmer.
of what?
Lettuce.
What do you mean, letters to plant?
Lettuce. L-E-T-T-I.
Oh, lettuce.
Lettuce. I'm sorry, a little
That's
fault
all right.
teeth action.
No, go ahead.
But, and then proceeds to tell me how my friend here is with Century 21 Insurance Company, that he did all the research on this, that he's got to pound him into the ground to collect money, and that he's suing him for $2,800.
Did you come up to him and tell him that you were going to sue his friend or whatever?
Welcome back to the People's Court. RV11 here. How do you decide when two people pull out of a driveway at the same time and hit each other? How do you decide who's at fault?
So I feel like if you look at the road and you go midway, the person who was more than halfway through, that person was there first.
Oh, the person who speeds wins.
Maybe.
There you go. What do you think?
I think the person who got to the road first should has the right of way, and the other person should yield.
Okay, but that's an interesting theory. But what if you never saw the person, so you don't know who got to the road first?
I got nothing.
You got nothing?
I got nothing on
You know what? I kind of got nothing too. Okay, going inside the courtroom.
I still plant vegetables, and I was thinking maybe he should try planting lettuce because I found it grows very well, and the squirrels leave it alone. His problem is with squirrels.
Okay, and then we get past the lettuce conversation, and then what
No
happened?
problem. I did say that we're going to court, and I felt I had a good case.
Okay, here's how it works. When an accident is two people's fault, which is how I find that you're both backing up and you don't see each other. When an accident is two people's fault, then each of you are responsible for half of the other person's damages. So if your damages are 0, he's responsible for half of 0, which is 0. And if your damages are, that's what I got to decide, he's responsible for half of your damages. I'm looking at your quote, and I find it to be kind of really high, considering that the value of your car is just barely the amount that you're asking to repair the dents. It's kind of inflated, I think. Okay, folks, this was fun, and we're done. I am going to deem these repairs, on taking into account what I'm looking at in the pictures in terms of the repair, the age of the car. I am going to deem that these repairs should be able to be taken care of for $1,000. I'm going to deem him responsible for 50% of the repair, and that would be $500. Verdict for the plaintiff, $500. And if there were any damages to your car, I'd make him pay for half of that. Yeah.
Oh, they're leaving the courtroom now for sure. Step out of here. There's the defendant right next to me here, and turn this way. How about the judge's verdict?
Well, I think she did a fair job, fair assumption. She can only go by what we said.
50-50?
What can I say?
Two cars are moving, right?
Well, look,
Yeah.
whether I'm right or wrong, I'm just as guilty, so
Yeah.
that's my problem. I have to pay. I was stopped, but
All right.
I'll accept it. It's not the end of the world.
All right, fair enough. Good
Okay.
witness. All right, head with Officer McIntosh around the corner. What about your side of things? The plaintiff's side, judge assesses the value roughly $1,000 and says you're 50% responsible.
Well, that's what the judge says, and
Right.
until I heard the judge's verdict, I was going on my own information, and that's why I came to court.
Yeah. That's your neighbor, right? The guy who was his witness.
Unfortunately, I was trying to avoid having some adversarial position with him.
You mad at him?
I disagree with what he said, and I feel he put a slant on things that, unfortunately...
No more lettuce planting with him, huh?
Well, he had given up on vegetables, is what he told me. I hope I don't have to give up on him, though, because we have a good, quiet neighborhood, and I'd like to keep it that way.
Harvey?
Okay, Kurt, what the judge did here, it's called comparative negligence. What that means is you can assign fault to both sides, and then you reduce the damage award by the amount of fault that person is responsible for. In this case, it was 50-50, but it doesn't always have to be 50-50. It can be 80-20, it can be 70-30, as long as it adds up to 100.